Welcome to Enigma Cast, nerds. And if you haven't noticed by now, it's been a while since the most eligible one-eyed man in all of New Jersey, probably all of America, has been on the show. Say hello to Sasquatch Steve Taylor. Steve, give him a ring, man. It's been a hot minute.
It has been a while. I thought maybe you were, trying to push me out of the way, No, you didn't want me getting too high up on the rankings.
That's right. Sometimes, we got to remember it's all about me around here. It's all about me. You're here to make me look good, Steve. And I was getting reports that you were actually slowly passing me by, right? And I had to put you on the bench for a second. But you know what? After a while, man, I start to miss you. I said, you know what? I got to reach out to my boy and bring him in. And plus, I got to bring him in for something special because got several requests to look into a case, for lack of a better word. And if you're new to this channel, how we do it when me and this guy are together most of the time, what we do is we'll take a topic that's been submitted. I will shoot it over to him and then we won't talk about it. He'll go and do his run. I'll go and do my run. Then we'll do the recording and we'll compare notes along the way. And at the end, we'll give you our thoughts and our details on whether or not we think this is real or just a hot steaming pile of padukery. And I have to say, for the last couple episodes, I have been the major poo-pooing on Steve. And it happened again recently on another recording, man. I just couldn't do it, man. I had to say this can't be real, right? So Steve's normally the pessimist, and I believe everything, but so maybe tonight I can redeem myself. So Steve, are you ready?
It could be. Oh yeah. Hey, I remember the last episode I was on. You shot it down like I'd never even seen before.
I wanted to believe so bad, man, but I'm like, this is so fake. I wanted to be. What happens is, guys, is that the more stories we do, the more we learn some pattern recognition and like, okay, man, this sounds like it's a little something. But this one right now might be a little bit different because I've gotten 34 requests. I've counted them. But to be fair, 14 of them came from the same person asking us to look into, true story, asking us to look into this thing, Steve, called the Beast of Bray Road. Now, on this show, if you haven't figured it out or if you've been with us any amount of time, we do things backwards around here. So this is obvious from my research. This was a fairly popular story. And of course, we didn't know anything about it until a week ago. So Steve, are you ready?
Yeah. I actually, when we did an episode, not the last one, but the one before, we did a Dogman episode. I think it was a case up in Alaska. I forget it, or somewhere out Pacific West. While looking that one up, looking up Dogman, this one I did see keep popping up. I didn't look into it at the time, but it was one that when you sent this to me the other day, I said, okay, I heard of this one before. Yeah,
I just wanted to stop the spam coming from the mailbox. So I said, you know what, man? All right, man. Here we go. Beast of Bray Road. We'll get into it. We'll break it down, right? So are you ready, homie?
That's right.
All right. Do you have any major life announcements you want to tell anybody?
Nope.
All right, Steve.
Still got one eye and still hanging out.
Still got one eye. Still the world's most eligible bachelor. And if all you Jersey girls were smart, you would jump on him before we blow up. Because when I buy him a Lambo, you can't ride, right? No rides for them, right? That's it. And I'll get some. I don't know. Can you drive a Lambo? Oh, there's a joke.
I'll make it work. I'll make it work.
Make it work. All right, just turn your head that way. Make it work, Steve. All right, nerds. This is how we do it. We're going to give you the who, the what, the when, the where, and then we'll give you our opinions on the end of it. Steve, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, we're going to get into the Beast of Bray Road, everybody. So, I didn't know anything about this when it came across. And then when I started doing my research into it, Steve, I came across a plethora of documentation and stories about this area. And I'm sure you're probably the same way because you're a little bit more litigious than me. That's right, Enigmites, in the same paragraph I use plethora and litigious correctly. Don't ask me to spell them. Right, Steve? Don't ask me to spell them.
I wouldn't ask you to spell most things.
Exactly, right, exactly. So anyway, so Steve, the where, Enigmites, Elkhorn, Wisconsin. I've never been to Wisconsin. It's and this Elkhorn is a town, a small town in southern Wisconsin that is north of Lake Geneva. So let me say that one more time.
To look this up too. Oh, no, go ahead.
Yeah, so Elkhorn, Wisconsin, which is in southern Wisconsin, is a small town north of Lake Geneva. I've never been to Wisconsin. Have you been there?
No, I haven't. But I'd heard of Lake Geneva, but still geographically that didn't help me at all. So I went to Google and I checked, and this is about 45 minutes outside Milwaukee, right off one of the Great Lakes there. So
okay, so fun fact about Wisconsin, Enigmites and Sasquatch Steve Taylor over there. It is the satanic capital of the United States of America. There's more satanic cults in Wisconsin than any other of the 50 states. So that might come into play as we get into this, right? So the win, Steve. Late 1980s is what I got through. All the 1990s is what I could come across. I stopped looking after that.
That seemed to be, I kept getting that as like the general, like that was the bulk of the reportings. There's still reportings going on today. There was actually, I'll get into it later, the earliest reporting was actually in 1936.
Oh, I don't have that.
Oh, yeah. So, but the majority, what's known the most, the mass amount of reportings was in the late 80s and the 90s. So,
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That point for Steve. All right. So 1936.
I'll get into
wow.
it. I have the full story on that. We'll get into that later.
So 1936. Man, that's a hot minute, dog. Anyways, so the Beast of Bray Road, guys, is what they are saying is a atypical. If you watch this channel at all, it's Dogman. It's 6 to 7 feet tall, muscular, with dark brown. Some reported having silver or gray hair, with conflicting reports of glowing yellow to glowing red eyes. So that's what they are saying that the Beast of Bray Road is. Now, as we get into this, there's a few things that I like to do on my research end where to add credibility to stories. And Steve, what is that thing I like to do, Steve? Do you remember?
Police reports.
Police reports, man. Police reports, right? I go and take the time and look and see if there's actually any police reports that were filed about these sightings. And the Beast of Bray Road has actually several police reports that were in there. I only looked at like 2 or 3 of them. It's out of this county called Walworth County. The sheriff's name is Joseph Joe Kruger and Deputy Jeff Beck. Now, that always lends credibility to a story when we get into, because when somebody takes the time to fill out a police report and the police investigate, they give their names, they give the locations, they give the time, and they give the detailed report, and they don't hide behind, some type of fake name or whatever. Like every time I bounce a check, my name is Steve Taylor, right? So to say it, Steve, I wouldn't go to Georgia anytime soon, Steve, but I'm just saying everybody's got to have an alias, right, bro?
Of course.
Right. So Sheriff Joe Kruger and Deputy Sheriff Jeff Beck out of Walworth County investigated several of these reportings. Now, I pegged in on 2 of them, but mine, I stopped at 1989, and I have the one that's on there. So the first one I came across, Steve, was, I was calling it Witness 1, 1989, 1:30 a.m. Thank you, police report. Lori Indrizzi is driving home from working at a bar, is what I think it says here. And on the side of the road, that too, yeah. You saw that? Was she coming home from at a bar? Yeah, she was coming home.
She was the bar manager.
Yeah, so she was coming home from a bar, closing the shift, and she goes around the corner on Bray Road, and she sees the Beast of Bray Road, a 6 to 7 foot, muscular, dark brown with silver hair is what she said it was, squatting down on the side of the road, eating a roadkill with its claws like this, with the roadkill in its mouth. It looked at her, she looked at it, and she did not even think about stepping on the brakes, man, and went down the road a little bit, pulled over, and called 911. Steve, that's what you got on that one?
Yep.
Right. So that was sighting 1, and that would be the first one that looked at 1989, the late 80s that went in there, right? And so, again, 2 years later, several years later, like 10 years later, I went forward to 1991, right? Like 11 years later. Mm-hmm. I did a big gap in there. It went through another lady, witness 2 is what I call her, Doris Gibson. She was driving home on Bray Road, and she says that she felt like something hit her car, or she banged over something, and it made her car pop up, right? And so she stopped, which is not uncommon, Steve, because we did a story about the Wampus cat down in Tennessee where like a guy pancaked one of those Wampus cats and got out, right? Remember that story? Yeah. Yeah, and he hit it with one of those big 1977, Lincolns, like a tank or whatever. So Debbie, yeah, right. So Debbie bangs it. Something bangs Debbie's car. Doris Gibson bangs her car, and she stops and she gets out. She looks around and she doesn't see anything. Now, this right here, I actually thought her story was pretty good. So what she says, Steve, on her end is that she sees something coming out of the tree line, and as it starts coming out of the tree line, she knows it's something bad. So she jumps back in her car, slams on it, but this thing actually jumps up onto the roof of her car. But due to the condensation in Wisconsin, I should have got the month when I looked at this, right? Either way, it was wet or whatever. It slips off and tumbles a little bit. She sees it, she freaks, and she just keeps on going down the road. But again, she stops, she calls it in, and makes a police report about it. Mm-hmm. So that right there, and there was more sightings that I could have went on and did, because like I said, I was actually a little bit impressed at the amount of like reports and data that was on this, right? Mm-hmm. And there was also one other incident that caught my mind, that caught my attention, but I just like, you know what? I didn't really dig in too deep into it. Was in the 1994, two boys were in the woods around Bray Road, and they were actually having a BB gun fight with each other. They were kind of like shooting each other with a BB gun. So as a guy with one eye, Steve, you probably want to have some safety lessons on there. Safety goggles, right, going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but they were having a BB gun war just between each other. Just, these were 14, 15-year-old boys, and they were just in there, and this thing ran up on them, and it chased them out of the woods, man. They ran so fast to get through it. Now, I was unable to come across any fatalities, but this is not the first time. So, Steve, normally you're the body guy, so that's what I got in there. But as of right now, I've never found, I could not locate any fatalities, run-ins with the Beast of Bray Road, right, for me. So that's what I got, Steve. So what do you have, bro? What'd you come across?
So yeah, no, this is the first show in a while where I didn't come across any deaths either.
Yeah, right. So normally you make me feel bad. Right?
Yeah. This was people, either just seeing it or having close encounters, like Doris Gibson. I saw her report as well. Did you see the name Linda Godfrey come up in your reportings?
I did, but I blew over it.
So she's the whole reason why anyone knows about this in the first place. She was a local small town. Elkhorn is a small town to begin with, right? Yeah. So she was just a local reporter that would write for it was the Walworth County Week. It was just a local newspaper there. And in 1991, she was, she had heard of this Dogman before. It was kind of like urban legend, local legend kind of thing. And so she started to dig into it. She's like, all right, let me maybe write a piece on this. And this, when she did, it blew up. I mean, this is the reason why people know the Beast of Bray Road, because it got huge. It got nationwide attention. Like it became a huge thing. Like it's their own little Bigfoot kind of thing. And so she went and she interviewed. She interviewed Lori and she interviewed Doris and a couple other people. She wrote this article, and yeah, it became really big. Actually, I found the article on Walworth County's week on the newspaper's website. They still have the old article to read on the website, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I went through and I read the whole thing. And I kept it open here because there was one note that I liked. And again, this is what kind of lends credibility to everything is it had this very famous news article, but the line in there, the logical place to start was the county humane officer, John Fredrickson. It turned out Fredrickson had a manila folder in his files marked werewolf, filled with note cards detailing 6 or 7 such sightings. One referred to unusual tracks. Another referred to hairy, pointy creatures chasing down deer on 2 legs. So, I mean, this is legit. Like, people have been reporting this for a long time.
No, that's you're spot on with that, man. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's actually, I thought it was kind of cool because I actually ended up, like I said, she ended up being the big name in as far as Dogman. And I thought it was really cool. So I just looked a little more into her. And, you know, like I said, started out just a local small town reporter for this time newspaper. After this blew up, it completely changed the course of her life. She went on to be a full-on writer and investigator in cryptozoology. She's actually one of the most renowned cryptozoologists
Are you serious?
like worldwide. She went on to write over 20 books on Dogman, Bigfoot, other cryptids, stuff like that. Like, she went up to be a big deal after just this tiny little news report.
Man, I'm gonna try to see. Is she still alive?
She died a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay.
She was like 70 something, but like it went on to be a huge thing for her and for cryptozoology in general.
Man, that's, again, like I said, man, these stories never cease to like wow me here. So what you have is that you have a sheriff report, multiple eyewitnesses. What'd you say the county what was that guy's name?
Walworth County Week newspaper.
Yeah, newspaper articles. There's a file kept on the guy's desk about werewolves and stuff like that, and encounters on that. All right, hey Steve, I feel the believe coming on, man. I feel the believe coming on, dog. Right? Wow. All right. So that's really cool, man. Hey, good stuff, man. Good stuff. So tell me about 1930. What? Tell me about that.
So that was So that was going to say that's the next thing I got here. This wasn't exactly on Bray Road, but it was in Jefferson, Wisconsin, which is about 45 minutes north of Elkhorn. It was 1936. It's the first report of a Dogman in the area.
36.
1936.
Wow.
90 years ago at this point.
Wow.
So the story is that there was this like school, maybe some sort of, Catholic school or something like that called St. Coletta's School. It was in this little remote town surrounded by farmland. And it says today most of the buildings are abandoned, but back then, it was like a full-on school. So there was a man named Mark Shackleman. He was the night watch on the campus. And one night he was making his usual rounds, and I guess there was some sort of, again, which is why I think this might be some sort of religious school. There was a cemetery on the campus, and he reports that one night he was out on his doing his rounds, and he passed the cemetery, and he saw this, what he described, a wolf-like creature hunched over, clawing at one of the graves. What? And so, yeah. And so the wolf thing saw him, howled, and ran off into the woods. And then the next day, same thing, doing his midnight round. As he's walking past the cemetery, he sees this creature once again, and he shines his flashlight on him, and the creature stood up on its hind legs. That's when it finally got up on its 2 legs.
Okay.
And he said that this creature looked about 6 feet tall, a man-like body, but that was covered in dark, thick hair, and it had claws and pointy ears. And just like the same night before, he howled and ran off into the woods. And he said that he felt that it was just some sort of, he called it a hellhound. He felt that it was some sort of beast, beast from hell is how he described it.
Dang, man. Saw it twice, back to back.
Yep.
Digging in a grave. And that's cool. It's freaky. Yeah. I mean, that's terrifying at the same time, right? But that's creepy. Like 1936, man, like, my brother, like, this dude, like, probably had a lantern, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's out there walking around. Like, oh my, like some Ichabod Crane walking through the wilderness on that. Man, that's crazy.
Yep. But yeah, so that's apparently, I mean, I guess, all this southern Wisconsin, I guess, Dogman has been in their lore for a long time. Well, we saw the Bray Road, like I said, the majority of that was reported 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
But, Wisconsin in general, they've had it for a long time.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I actually did like you got any more eyewitness accounts before I jump into something else?
Nope.
So because I have extra time on my hands and that there's so many written. We've actually started to develop a pretty strong library of like fiduciary cases that we've looked into, right? We're coming up we're almost like 8 or 9 like we've looked into, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I was looking at this one, I saw the amount of people that were had encounters, right? And I didn't even know about that 1936 one. So what I did is that I added a new layer into our investigation techniques, right? I went and checked the Native American side of this area, right? And I actually came back with something. But before I go into that, I also do what I normally do, like we did when we, the chupacabra, which I thought was totally fake. Now I'm a total believer on, right? Is that I actually checked the closest military bases to this town, Elkhorn, right? And the closest one was like 45 miles or like 145 miles away. That is recognized. Actually, Uncle Jay from Uncle Jay's Urban Legends actually went to boot camp in Wisconsin. I think this place called they call it Great Mistakes. Like there's a Navy boot camp up there, right? But however, I did find that 20 minutes north of Elkhorn, right, lies this place called Burlington, Wisconsin, and it's rumored to have hidden underground facilities. DUMBs, deep underground military bases, are rumored to be 20 minutes north of Burlington, Wisconsin. Some of the locals, in fact, in the town, blamed strange electromagnetic interference, cryptid sightings in the area, and military, secret technology experiments going on up there, right? Now, there was a time, so now, we have several theories about these dogmans and stuff like that. But you have I didn't know about the one in like 1936, but it's the same way that Chupacabra didn't come on the scene till like what, 2000? Like there's no one ever heard of it, right? And it's like totally points to some type of escape, like something out of a lab in Puerto Rico, right? Or let go on purpose. So that adds to the mystery as well, to the Scooby-Doo mystery that we got going on here. But however, I still went further into it, bro. And I looked into the Native Americans around there, and there was a tribe of people called the Ho-Chunk Nation, also known as the Winnebago tribe or Winnebago tribe, right? Did you come across them in your studies? And so they have been in that area for, generations upon, generations. And Wisconsin is that's a hostile environment for the wild, right? Like it's not like, there's no chill on there, right? Like the wind that comes off those Great Lakes, man, were crazy. Matter of fact, when they were first discovered, they thought they found another ocean. That's how big they were. But so they have the following 2 legends in their folklore that goes passed down. I'm just going to call them the Ho-Chucks, right? The Ho-Chucks speak of a thing basically called a spirit dog, is what they call it, or a guardian wolf, or a man wolf, depending on, who you talk to, right? And they say that it's a protector of the land. It enforces balance, and that when, when the natures of law get twisted around, this thing starts making appearances, right? And they don't believe that it's demonic at all, but rather it's a guardian spirit reminding people of boundaries, right? So that would explain why no one's ever been attacked by it, but it's like, hey, don't come in these woods, right? And we've also studied in Alaska what happens when you put a road somewhere where they don't want a road to be, right? And so that's a great one there as well. And if you want to see that, everybody go into the Enigma Cast archives and go in there, look at it. And it was, I forget what it was called, Steve. Do you remember what it is, Steve? The Alaskan episode we did?
The one, which one? Portlock?
Yeah, Portlock. Yeah, Portlock. Yeah. That's terrifying. A lot of people died in that one, right? But the second one, right? The second one that they want the Ho-Chunk have is a tale of what they call forest walkers. Now, these are tribesmen amongst themselves who can, take the form of a man or a wolf at will, right? Basically, human shapeshifters, but it's specific to their bloodline. And they only show up when vampires are in the area, is what I hear, man, or when new girls go to school, right? No, I'm just joking on that, right? So yeah, so I have the Twilight series extended director's edition, so I can't complain. But anyway, so basically what they're saying, man, is the same thing, is that they have in their tribe, in their bloodline, there's people with the gift. They don't, like I said, they don't call it a curse, they call it a gift, where they can shift in between man and beast, right? And they said the transformation sometimes, though, could be for spiritual punishment, for greed or violence, or a sacred duty to watch over certain lands. So sometimes if you're being in the Ho-Chunk mythos or their legend, if someone is being bad, this curse will come upon you and you'll be, you have that. Sometimes you're selected to be a guardian of the land, right? But that right there is fascinating to me, that they would actually have that. And it ties into what you were talking about, like something going back as far as like 1936. So this is, and so like this whole area seems to be, again, man, like we were sleeping on Oklahoma. I'm about to put never go to Wisconsin on my freaking travels there. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm just never leaving my house again.
I guess, man, yeah.
No matter where you go, we got danger.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you got where you like Nantucket, right? You used to go up there every summer. Yeah, Pugwudgies, don't go up there. They'll smoke you, right? Go to Oklahoma. Yeah, you'll get ate by cannibal freaking Bigfoots or whatever. Go to Wisconsin, if the satanic people don't get you, you got a chance of the Bray Road grabbing a hold of it. Yeah, it's crazy, man. This is crazy. But so, Steve, we know when we go into this thing that we look at it, man, based on the research that we've done before, we have different schools of thought. Some of them are ancestral, some of them are man-made, some of them are government experiments that go on to do it. And you know what? We're at at this tipping point here, man. And so I like to do like a little check-in, man. Where are you at? Where are you at with this on this thing?
You're asking my percentage already? My early percentage?
Your early percentage. I got some more, because I got some more dingers here for you, man. Like, so.
All right. You know me. I'm always a skeptic. So
hold on. We're gonna play a game.
Okay, let's play a game.
I'm gonna write it down where you're at in a percentage right here. I just literally think I just broke my pen here, man. Hold on.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna write it down. Go ahead. And I'm gonna tell you where it's at. And see if you're close.
Do you want me to explain, or just give a percentage?
No, give me your little explaining point there as well, because it plays in because it's going to play into what I'm about to tell you next.
Okay, because you know me, I'm usually very skeptical. My number is very low, if not zero, to begin with. But the amount of reporting on this, especially in the 90s with Linda Godfrey, and it wasn't, she was just trying to write some little story. Like, she turned it into her life's work, chasing, investigating Dogman and Cryptid and stuff like that. And like we were saying, all the police reports, the fact that they have all these, folders and files on this stuff, reports going back 100 years. Now you're telling me about the Native American. It's still low, but it's definitely intriguing to me, and it seems like it would have more footing than a lot of the stuff we report on here.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a 20%.
Oh, okay. Because I wrote down 10. I wrote down 10%. I was like, all right. So all right, a 10 would be a W if he came out with a 10. I felt the same way, man. Like I said, but yeah, I'm prone to believe, man. I am, man. Like I said, the last couple episodes we did they were just so unbelievable. Compared only because of what we had looked at in the past, right?
We're understanding these stories a bit more, and
yeah, for sure, right? But this one's checking a lot of boxes, man. Military facility, secret military facility nearby, check. Multiple eyewitnesses, check. A long history, now even going back as early as 1936, but also multiple eyewitnesses, check. Police reports, check. Townsfolk keeping files, check. Native American lore, even deeper going out to it and check. And again, we talk about this on this channel, Enigmites. It's the ancient Enigmites, how not to die in the woods. Ignore Native American legends at your own risk. If they tell you don't go into those woods after dark, and you go into those woods after dark, you're going to die. That's just how it is, man. Right? So, and I got to say,
time and time again.
Exactly right. So I say it every time. And I got to say, you probably had that coming because they literally said, don't go into the forest of death after dark, right? So, right? So you went in there. That's what you got. That's the name on it. But this is checking a lot of blocks for us too. Also, there is the remoteness of this place, in the middle of nowhere, and it's often too, man, like a thing that I've started to develop as recently as 2 weeks ago is that when I'm getting caught up on reading all these emails, I mean, I'm almost down to like 300, man. So like, I'm really getting through it, right? But I told people don't take that personal because it takes me 2 days to reply to him. You know what I'm saying? So like, and so there are people in this country who live in some of the most remote places possibly imaginable that I would never live in, that I would never live there, right? Like I would never go there, right? Like, and this town is one of those places. It's probably not as remote as some of the places that, you know, that people went on, like, but it's very remote, and that checks a box, man. Like you are, you know, when we were looking at Portlock, they put a town where they didn't want a town to be put in, and they tried to make it work, and they fought back, right? So there seems to be something too about like these sightings or these spirit gardens, because you got to make roads, you got to cut down trees, you got to do stuff like that, right? And you're moving in there as well. So this is actually checking a lot of box on me, which is making me feel good, Steve. It's making me feel good, man. I can finally,
I can feel that energy.
I feel it, man. I can finally find something I can say, you know what? I'm all right with that. So this thing was so crazy that, as I normally do around here, we have connected the dots between a little bit of the paranormal with these cryptids. Where we see Dogmen, you'll have Bigfoots. And where you have Bigfoots, you'll have orbs. There's always a little, you know, crisscrossing take place. So I did a little extra digging on, is there any other fiduciary going on in that area, Steve?
You know, you're making me think that the answer is yes.
There is a whole lot of fiduciary going on around Elkhorn, Wisconsin, southern Wisconsin, north of Lake Geneva. A whole lot. And I'm talking a whole lot. In fact, it's a whole sheet and some change lot that I'm going to go into, right, Steve? So I stopped at 6 of them, right? So not only is the Beast of Bray Road a legend in, well, I won't call it a legend. Something's going on. Again, if you're just now finding us on this channel, we won't talk about something unless something is going on, right? We often disagree on what it is, what it could be, and sometimes we're like, yeah, man, that's a total lie. But something is happening in Elkhorn, Wisconsin, right? And the local surrounding areas as well. There is another county, the adjacent county, Jefferson County, is 20 miles north of Elkhorn, you know, moving more, you know, towards, you know, Canada. And
that's where, I don't want to interrupt, but that's where this 1936 sighting was in Jefferson, Wisconsin.
Oh, was it? Okay. So yeah, so there you go. Yep. So here's one in the early 1990s, the same time this Beast of Bray Road was, you know, picking up tempo. Multiple witnesses reported a large, upright, wolf-like creature near Highway 89 and Paradise Road. Described the same way. 7 feet tall, running on 2 legs, and shooting across highways. A group of teens claimed it chased their car for nearly a mile before disappearing into the cornfields. Right? Cornfields are terrifying on their own, by the way. So I don't know. I can only imagine if I had a Dogman on my 6 when I'm cutting through the cornfield, right? Right? Yeah. And a farmer up there reported seeing a wolf walking like a man in his pasture under a full moon, right? Now they dubbed this one the highway wolf. I guess the left hand doesn't talk to the right hand up there or the Beast of Bray Road was taken, but they were calling this the highway wolf, right? Now, now, this is nuts. So if you go 40 miles northeast of Elkhorn, right, which is 20 miles farther than Jefferson, just a little bit to your right, they have a heavily wooded area up there called the Kettle Moraine State Forest, Steve. And it has been a hot spot for Sasquatch sightings since the 1970s. But hikers have also been ran out of the woods. They report, humanoid figures, strange wood knocks, smelling something stinky, right? Like typical Bigfoot stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Massive ape-like beings over there, 8 feet tall to 10 feet tall. But they've also have people have said that they've been chased out of there by the same, wolf-like creatures, right? And again, we have during our research come across where Bigfoot and Cryptid and these Dogman, Bigfoots could be looking after them, could be doing something. I don't really know what's going on. But
yeah, they seem to run together.
Yeah.
We see that a lot where they're always.
Yeah.
You don't get one or the other.
Yeah.
They're usually both.
You find one, you find the other, right? You hope you find the Bigfoot because he might throw a rock at you, right? Unless you're in Oklahoma, then you're going to die. You see, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah. But yeah, man. So again, but then we got another thing here too, man, that if you go 45 miles north of Elkhorn, right? And this is crazy, man. This is crazy, man. 45 minutes, right? Which is basically just right past that Jefferson County. There's a lake called Rock Lake near this place called Lake Mills, right? Dead north of Elkhorn, right? Mm-hmm. And the Ho-Chunks say that they are giant serpentine beings that live inside that lake. And they're described and people have said on that lake they've seen large shadows moving under the water. And modern divers have reported being, pushed or pulled by some type of unseen force under the water. And there's also something crazy about this lake that they just discovered with LiDAR scans that they did on the lake, is that there's actually giant ancient stone structures that lie beneath the lake called the Wisconsin Underwater Pyramids. I didn't know this at all, right? And I just thought Wisconsin was a cold trailer park, man, in my opinion. And I can say that. Look, you watch some stuff around here. That's right. Yeah, I just thought it was that, man. But no, Wisconsin is full of it, right? And it's crazy, bro, because it has led some people to go to this Rock Lake. Geophysicists, several other type of electromagnetic engineers, and another type of scientist on here that I didn't write down to study these energy patterns that come on. Something is going on in that lake. Something is happening in that lake. Mm-hmm. And you have the people who are more in tune to the nature side are saying that a ley line, an energy line on the globe runs smack dab in the middle of Elkhorn, all the way up through this lake, right, that comes down, right? Lake lizards and water serpents. But then again, here's another one though, right? This is crazy. That's north. That's going north of Elkhorn, right, bro?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you go just due west, 10 miles from Elkhorn, you'll hit this place called Delavan, Wisconsin. And in 2012, residents reported seeing a glowing-eyed humanoid in the woods behind the lake. They described it as half man, half animal, same stuff. Gray fur, stooped posture, gave them some low growls, watched them behind the trees. And they call this one, again, I guess the right hand doesn't talk to the other hand either. They call this one the Delavan Howler, right? So they all, each little county's fighting for it. Yeah.
I like that.
Delavan Howler is what this one's called. Mm-hmm. So north Fiduciary, west Fiduciary, northeast Fiduciary, Elkhorn right in the middle, Fiduciary, right? And man, I'm like, man, like this has literally turned into one of the most active areas we've ever looked in, bro. Because I got 2 more, man. So I got like 2 more, right? And I stopped. That's
right? Crazy.
Yeah, man. So I kind of did like a little circle on the map, right? Mm-hmm. So if you go 25 minutes, you know, I took you northeast, I took you north, I took you west. I'm going to take you northwest. If you go 25 minutes northwest of Elkhorn, you run into this place called Whitewater, Wisconsin, right? And this is where the satanic place comes in. This place is referred to as the Second Salem due to the dark history of occult and activity and ghost sighting, hooded figures, orbs, shadow entities. All that crap right there that you go into is northeast. That's where the Satan people live, right? They live up in this Whitewater, Wisconsin, right? And I'm thinking like, dang, man, like, did they build this town on a pentagram? Like, did you guys, were you going out of your way to pick this like this, right? Like, you couldn't pick a worse place. I would never live here. At first, I thought it would be cool. Like, hey, man, let's rent an RV, Steve, and go up in there summer and do something. Like, nah, man, I'll send Jay. Jay, go up there and walk around the woods, man. And,
just don't let him watch this episode first.
Yeah, exactly. Take a sat phone with you, right? So, yeah, man. And then, so here's where I actually stopped right here, man, is that because of, I wanted to check into one last thing when I left here, right? So where it says 20 minutes north of Elkhorn lies Burlington, Wisconsin, right? Where they're rumored to have that deep underground military base. And they actually do have World War II missile silos in this town, just these abandoned silos, right? In this town. But they also have something too that a lot of people go up there and research, man, is that when you get into Burlington, Wisconsin, which is 20 minutes north of Elkhorn, it's just right up the street, right? You have compasses stop working. People have reported seeing shadow beings, the same thing they talk about when they look out there on Skinwalker Ranch. They've seen dogmen out there, but they also say two other things happen that don't happen anywhere else in there. They've seen crawlers, right? Pale crawlers, right? I don't know if you're familiar with those, Steve. We've talked about those once or twice. And pale crawlers, right? And people report losing time. Some type of time anomaly takes place when you get up into that area. And that's when I quit. I'm like, all right, man, I'm done. That's it. Like I said, man, that's a whole episode. Okay, there's why 33 emails got sent telling me to look at the Beast of Bray Road, right? Hands down, bro. Elkhorn, Wisconsin goes off the map to ever stop in. As a matter of fact, man, it's probably where they got the inspiration to make Children of the Corn, that old movie back in the day, right? So,
I was gonna say I'm just never going to Wisconsin in general now. It seems like no matter what town you go to, there's it's crazy. It's crazy, man. And so, yeah, that's right there is a whole lot of fiduciary packed into, I would say, less than a 45 minute. I only went 45 minutes out, man. I didn't even, I just stopped, man. Like, I didn't go any farther than that. I'm like, all right, man, this is some weird stuff going on up here. But again, it meets the parameters that something weird is going on. Something's going on up there. Something strange is going on. They're either the king of the hoaxes up there, or they're actually encountering some type of, something up there. So, so 25%, Steve. That's where you were at before I laid on you the 6 other facts that laid on you right there. I was at 20.
20. Okay, 20.
But I'll bump it up to 25 that something is happening, because that's a lot of reporting and a lot of variety in reporting. It's not just like people tacking on, oh yeah, I saw Dogman too. No, like there's a lot going on up there. It seems like
there's a lot going on up there, man. And like I said, it checks every conspiracy box we got: military base, ley lines, Native American legend, 1936 haunted Catholic school. It's like, we just check. We just went down the list on that bad boy, man. So you're at a 25, man, and I gotta say, man, baby, I'm back, baby. I'm back, man. I'm all in, man. The Beast of Bray Road is real. I'm 100%, man. There's some strange fiduciary going on up there, man. The Beast of Bray Road is a real phenomenon. It is too much. I love it. Too much. It is just too much ink. It's just too much ink put down over too long. It's the 1936 thing sealed it for me, really. When I heard you, right? Like, I knew the other stuff that was going on down there, but 1936, that would be before. And again, he has no reason to lie. A report for 1936. There's no fame in that. There's just ridicule, right? There's no fame in that. That's just terror, right? There's no, hey, I'm the first. There was no internet. There's no cell phones. There's no cameras. There's no cell phone recording. So if a groundskeeper saw it 2 nights in a row, digging into a grave on a Catholic school or whatever that place was, That's some strangeness afoot. And the Native American lore, again, leans more credit. But the 1936 was the one that put me over the top, man, that something is going on. Because now you got the same story told, or the same creature described over multi-generations, right? And connect into it, man. So for me, 100%, man, this bad boy is a real thing, man. And that's going down out there. So now for the fun part, Steve. Steve, would you ever go to Elkhorn, Wisconsin for a weekend to spend the night down there? Would you ever head down there?
You know, I would say yes. And the reason I'm not saying no is because even through all this craziness that we're reporting here, there's been no deaths.
There has been no deaths.
I feel like you're saying, if we're talking about, you know, as you were mentioning with the Native American lore, it's almost as if they see them as protectors of the land. You know, like they'll tell you to back off, but they're there not as hostile aggressors, but more just, you know, overseeing, you know, the area. So as crazy as all that is, like I wouldn't feel too much in danger. So
yeah, that's good.
I could see myself going.
Well, now I gotta go because I can't be the wimp that doesn't go when you go. You know what I'm saying? I got two eyes. You know what I'm saying? So like, I can't be that guy. Like, no, I can't be that, right? So yeah, I guess I would have to. Thanks for guilt me. I guess I'll do it if you're gonna force me to go. I'll go up there with it. But that's actually a good point, man. It's that you just brought up is that they seem to be letting themselves be seen, and you know what, letting you know that they're there, but. With the amount of sightings that were reported, if there was a hostile attack, it would have been reported. I mean, like if somebody would have gotten tore up or if somebody would have got that. And again, too, when the boys were playing BB guns in the woods, like it totally could have got a hold of them. I mean, like I said, man, it totally could have, ran them down, right? Like I said, right? But basically, it seems to be that it's just, running them out of the woods, running them out of the areas. And that fits in with the Native Americans, about how they protect the boundaries, they protect, the areas that go into it. But the witchcraft town northeast, no, we're not going up there, Steve. Northwest, where all the devil guys are at. No, I got no time to deal with Malachi and drawing pentagrams outside on the floor. I don't have time for that, man. Like I said, right. So
you wouldn't want to stop in the local gift shop and
no, have my cards read. No, we're good, man. Like you keep all them demons up there in the north, man. We'll send them to Canada where it's at. So, Steve, 25%. It's good numbers for him, y'all. That's good numbers for this guy over here, man. So I'm dead on accurate, man. I'm 100% into it. And all the people that sent this over to us to look at, Steve's fault. He doesn't check the email box like he should all the time, man. It just gets put in there. So, I just blame him on that as well. But there's your Beast of Bray Road episode. I'm a hard yes. This is definitely something going on. It feels good because the last two episodes I've been hard nosed, but I'm a hard yes right now that this is something going on up there.
This is a good one. I like this. This was really interesting. I'm glad we went into this.
Yeah, me too, man. I was like, yeah. So again, it's the one. I'm like, oh, I guess I'll do it. So I'm actually having the most fun doing, like the chupacabra one. That was I thought, if you're watching this and haven't watched that episode, I always thought the chupacabra was the dumbest cryptid on the planet, and it wasn't real. And then you'll be shocked when we looked into it exactly how much data and like believability that it's okay, that something's weird going on with those little creatures, man. So. Anyways, guys, you know how we do around here. This is the Ancient Enigma Files, but however, I just launched another channel called the Enigma Daily. I run Monday through Friday at noon, quick 8, 10, 15-minute videos talking about the Hadoukery going on in the world as it goes on in the world. Over there, I do talk about paranormal, and I do talk about conspiracies. So if you're interested in that, go back to the landing page after this video. You'll see it right over there. Go over there and give us a follow and tune in on that. I go live, but you can catch it later on that. So, Steve-O. Anything on the way out, brother?
No, I was going to say, we have our Discord channel too, and I'm going to actually post after we finish recording here. I'm going to post that link to Linda Godfrey's news article, so you can take a look at that. Yeah, because it was pretty cool. Because it was, like I said, she interviewed those two, Lori and Doris, but she had mention of like 4 or 5 other sightings that had gone on. So it's really interesting. So
cool. Yeah, I'll check that out.
Post that in there.
Yeah. Yep. So if you want to join that, hit the link tree in the bio. You can find us on all of our short form content areas. You can go in there and join the Discord, follow us on Facebook, all that good stuff around there. So, and you're more than welcome. But you know how we do around here, nerds. hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. If you are seeing this and you are from Wisconsin and you know any other of this fiduciary that we talked about, that please leave that in the comments, because I would like to get some boots on the ground reports just for the fun of it on that. So, Steve, you good?
I'm good.
All right. That's all you get for $1, nerds. And we're out.
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.